Regarding mirrorless, being relative newcomers to the camera market, mirrorless cameras so far don't have any of the issues of confused compatibility that you have with a lot of digital SLRs. So let's kind of take a semi-chronological order here, because I'm not exactly sure in what order these came to market, but Micro Four Thirds was the first. And this lens mount is a completely electronic mount. It has electronic contacts. It has no physical connections. You put it on the camera and the lens communicate. The only confusion here is that many people don't realize that Panasonic and Olympus have basically 100% compatibility of lenses and bodies, because they are the same mount. Even though the two companies may offer different features in their lenses and different features in their camera bodies, lens mount is not one of them. So you can put Lumix lenses, which are Panasonic, on an Olympus body. You can put M Zuiko lenses, which are Olympus, on a Panasonic body. You know, they're interchangeable. Don't worry about it. All right. Going on to chronologically, who was probably second would be, I believe, Sony. Sony came out with the NEX system, which was APS-C sensors and interchangeable lenses. They referred to the lens mount as the E-mount. Later, they dropped the NEX name and called everything Alpha, which causes a bit of confusion because there is an A-mount, which was the old lenses I spoke of under digital SLR Sony. The A-mount had the DT lenses, which were APS-C, and then they had the full-frame lenses, so confused it even more. Then they have the E-mount, which is for the APS-C cameras, and then they come out with full-frame using the same lens mount, so they have another line of lenses called FE that will cover full-frame. E-mount lenses may vignette on an Alpha 7 body. As a result, you need an FE lens if you want to be certain that it's going to be covered. All right. Sony is right now probably moving forward pretty quickly in this market, probably a little faster than most. All right. Moving on, we have Fujifilm. Their XF lens mount for their X series camera is very popular because of the, I guess you might say, the nostalgia factor along with the quality. They are very high quality, and their cameras have an operating system quite similar to what people might remember from the film era. So a lot of photographers my age are really liking these cameras because it really sends you back to an earlier time. No compatibility issues here. The lens mount is new. The camera bodies are relatively new. The whole thing is within the last few years. Nothing to worry about. Moving on, I think the next one to the party was probably Nikon. Nikon came in, however, with a very small sensor, a 1-inch sensor in their 1 series cameras. Now, the 1 series cameras have some advantages. They, for instance, have the only waterproof interchangeable lens mirrorless camera. However, make sure that you buy both the waterproof body and the waterproof lens, or you will not like the results if you get it wet. So again, no compatibility issues besides making sure that you have the waterproof lens and body if you want to actually get in the water. And that's about it for Nikon. Canon. Canon was much later to the party and started out with a real dud. The original EOS M was a fantastically well-built camera, top quality materials. It had the tried and true 18 megapixel APS-C sensor that Canon had been using in many of their cameras, so it had very good image quality. But I think it came out with a grand total of 3 lenses, and the autofocus speed was slower than this. Now you might say, well, isn't that an Olympus? Shouldn't that be fast? No, this is a first series EPL1, and it focuses very slowly, but the EOS M was even slower. Now, they have improved it. They now have an M5, which is a very capable camera. However, the number of native lenses is still pretty small. So if you decide to go out and get yourself an EOS M5, you're probably better off only purchasing it if you already own Canon EOS glass, because then you can get the adapter and use all of your EF and EFS lenses very effectively on the M5. All right, let me see. So again, Canon is a big name coming in there, just based on their brand. They will sell a lot of cameras. All right, Pentax has the little Q system, tiny little sensor. Sensor is not much larger than what you'd find, I guess, in a cell phone. However, it's got some nice little lenses, very compact system, bit pricey, and of course, with such a small sensor, not great in bad lighting. So, not a system that you basically hear much about. It's a bit pricey for the size of the sensor that you're getting. Let me see. Leica has a couple of true mirrorless systems. There's the SL, there's the S, there's the TL. However, because of the price point of these, I'm not even going to bother to speak about them. Mere mortals like myself can only dream. Some people will lump the original Leica M in here, but being a rangefinder camera and not offering autofocus and things like that, I think it belongs in a category in and of itself. And therefore, I'm not going to put it in here. If you were going to look at it as a mirrorless system, well, the camera dates back to the mid-1950s, the M mount. So, yeah, it would definitely be the oldest system. And remember one more thing about mirrorless before I end this video, and that is that mirrorless cameras can adapt lenses from many older systems. Right now, this is being recorded on an older Olympus body, an EPM1, using an adapter furnished by Photodiox, which allows me to use my old K mount, that's Pentax mount, XR Reconon 28mm f2.8 lens. This lens dates back to about 1980, 1981. On a camera body that dates back to about 2010, 2011, I guess. So it's a mix and match. It's a mashup. But the result is a video camera that's quite capable of doing the type of videos that I do right here. So anyhow, if you enjoyed this video, please click like. If you would like to see more, click subscribe. And of course, if you think that anybody might get some benefit from this in sifting through the confusion of lens mounts, then click share. So thank you very much. Bye for now.